Aw. Hi everyone, I want to tell you a true story that happened to me about karma. When I was about 18 years old, my brother was away at college, and unfortunately he struggled with depression. So I think it was about his third or fourth year into college. He had gone to college in Pennsylvania, which was, around 3,000 miles away from where we grew up in Southern California. He drove over the New Jersey border to a pet shop, and he bought himself a dog, an emotional companion. And it was a cute little white Pomeranian that he named Cornelius. And I used to love to call him Corny, and we call him Bullet because he'd run so fast all the time. He'd just take off and he'd run, and he was so adorable. Well, when I had got the phone call from him that he had bought a dog, at that point I had not seen Cornelius. He had only described him. And we grew up with a dog since I was 2 years old and my brother was 5 years old. We had a Sheltie. And the dog died when I was 15 years old. So this is about 3 years later that he got himself a dog. And I was so jealous. This is just to tell you what sort of mindset I was in, when I was a teenager. Not a good one, and please, it's okay to judge me. I was so jealous. I didn't tell him I was jealous, but I thought, man, if he gets a dog, I want a dog. I miss my dog. I want a dog too. And it was around my birthday. I was still living at my parents' house, but I thought, well, I can't get a dog. I can't get a cat. I'll just go down to the pet shop and I'll get a bird. At that time, there were still pet shops in the mall. So I went down and I picked out this beautiful yellow and green parakeet, and I named him Alfalfa. And I bought him a cage, and I got all the food and a few toys, and I brought him home, and I put him in my bedroom. And I wanted to play with the bird, and I tried to stick my finger in the cage, but I realized at that point it was a mistake to buy the bird because I was scared of the bird. I was so scared of the bird. I don't know why, I'm just so scared of the bird. And so every day that I had the bird, slowly the bird became a burden. And I started to get mad at the bird. I was too scared to hold the bird. I didn't know I didn't know how to take care of parakeets or any type of bird. And don't get me wrong, I love birds. I think birds are beautiful. I love that they're up in the trees and they're free to fly anywhere they want, and I love their tweeting noises, and I wonder what they talk about, and birds are beautiful. Unfortunately, this bird was starting to become very ugly to me. My parents were away on vacation, and I thought, you know what, I just hate this bird, and I want to get rid of this bird. And I didn't know how to get rid of the bird. The only way I knew how to get rid of the bird was to let it go. So I let the bird go in my backyard about 2 weeks later after purchasing the bird. And I want to tell you 2 things you should know. One, the wings of the bird were clipped. And 2, we have a pool in our backyard. But I saw it hopping around on the grass, and I was like, oh good, it's going in that direction, not near the pool. And then I saw it kind of hopping near the back fence where the honeysuckle plant grew, and I thought, well, that's where it'll build its new home, so that's good, and I felt good about it. And I thought, oh, the burden is off my shoulders, this is great. Well, about 3 days later, my parents were still out of town. My ex-boyfriend, who was my boyfriend at the time, was over at my house, and his friend, and maybe there was a few other people, I can't remember. And we had a living room where we were hanging out that had French doors that opened up to the back patio where the pool was and the grass area. And his friend was out there on a beautiful sunny day, as it usually is in Southern California. And then he came back in and he's like, Victoria, I found your bird and it's dead in the pool. And right when he told me that, my heart dropped and I felt like a bird murderer, and I cried for like a good 5 minutes. And then I thought, well, it's done. The bird really is off my shoulders. I thought that it would live a beautiful life, but now I'm a bird murderer, and I didn't mean to be. And that was the end of the bird, and I got rid of the empty cage, and I did feel bad about myself for quite a while. I didn't intend to kill the bird inadvertently, but that's what happened. And I thought that was the end, and I thought that was my lesson, and I thought, well, I'll just never buy a bird again. Well, lo and behold, look at who has entered my life yet again. Just to taunt me. Just to taunt me. This is how I got 2 birds a decade later. We've had these birds about 5-ish years. My in-laws are really keen on parakeets. Apparently they've had 2 parakeets for a long time, and one dies and they replace them. They love the birds, they know how to bathe the birds, they sing to the birds sing to them, they know how to clip the birds' wings, they know all about the parakeets. Well, one day when my older daughter was about 4 years old, they took her to the swap meet, to go look around, buy things. They came back with 2 birds. They came back with 2 parakeets. One named Drummy, the asshole that's the blue one, who only thinks about himself, and it shows. And he's also a domestic abuser. He likes to peck and yell at his mate all the time. And then there was a second yellow bird named Dandelion. Well, about a year after we have the parakeets, Dandelion unfortunately died. We had a little service, a little burial service in our backyard for Dandelion, and it was short and it was sweet, and then Drummy was alone. I think the way he likes it. But not for long, because my in-laws, what did they do? They went back to the swap meet to buy Anna. That is the sweet yellow bird. Another yellow bird. This one has red eyes. And that to me is karma. Karma, yeah. Karma is a bitch to some people. To me, karma is a couple of birds. I think they're supposed to only live about 3 years, these budgies, these parakeets, but Drummy's going strong in about 5 years. So we will see, fingers crossed. Although I'm pretty sure that they're just going to keep getting replaced. Because my husband loves the birds, and so do our children. So I am pretty much shit out of luck. But hey, I deserve it because I was a bird murderer. Never again will I do such harm to birds. So what I do instead is I just sort of leave them alone and I don't do anything with them except for make this video. And in the making of this video, these birds were not harmed or touched at all. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And don't be a bird murderer like me. Please, if you don't like the bird that you've purchased, now I would say in my years of learning and thinking back and getting karma'd, please take your bird to either back to where you bought it or to some sort of wildlife place, and they will tell you where to take your bird, or they will take it off your hands for you. All right, bye.